Tune into Radio Rose Ellen.
Today on the Rose Ellen Radio Show, we're going to talk about UK social services and UK social workers. In particular, what steps you should take if a social worker knocks at your door. Now, I can only point out the complete and 100% legalities. I can't suggest you carry out any course of action, but the legalities are this. UK social services and social workers do not have any powers whatsoever. They cannot forcibly enter your home. They cannot be issued with a warrant to enter your home. They can't insist that they come in, and they can't take away your children. The only way that the children can be taken into the care of the local authority is by way of a court order, or you voluntarily hand your children over to social workers. That is the only two ways that social workers and vicariously the local authority can take possession of your children. So let me stress that once again. Social workers carry no powers whatsoever. They cannot enter your property without your permission. So if a social worker knocks at your door, it's likely to have happened because somebody has phoned the local authority maliciously and they are doing a first contact referral. I would say do not allow the social worker or social workers in your home. There is another aspect. The social worker may well be accompanied by a police officer who will be required by law to do a welfare check. Now, you cannot stop the police officer coming into your home, but you can stop the social worker. Now, if the social worker says, I'm allowed to come in with the police officer, that is only with your permission. Do not give the permission. Insist that the police officer tells the social worker to stay outside. Allow the policeman in to do the welfare check and all's well, and that's an end of it. But do not under any circumstances allow the social worker into your home. Do not engage with the social worker and do not argue. Definitely do not argue with the social worker. So in any subsequent court case, all the social worker can say is that this person refused me entry into the house and would not engage with me. That's all that can be said. That will not be a negative to your case whatsoever. Now, if the social workers are already in your home and you already had meetings with social workers, my suggestion is this. In any meeting, in every meeting you have with a social worker, do one of two things. Have a witness with you, a friend, a family member, etc., etc. Make notes of everything that is said in the meeting with the social worker or workers and insist that the social worker sign and date your notes at the end of the meeting. If the social worker refuses to do this, then tell them that the meeting is now over, this is unacceptable, and ask them to leave your home. Another method of recording everything, of course, is with video and audio. This can be done via your mobile phone, smartphone. When the social worker comes into your house, tell them that you're cautioning them that everything they say and do will be recorded, and a transcript may or may not be used as evidence in any subsequent court case. If they refuse to be recorded, then ask them politely to leave your home. Do not explain anything, do not argue with them, and do not engage with them in a discussion about the recording. If they refuse to leave your home, call the police. Dial 999 and inform the police that there is a social worker who is in your property against your wishes. Let's talk about the way the social worker will talk to you. What I want to say is don't make any mistakes in thinking that the social worker is there to help your family. The social worker is there to remove your children. There is no other reason. There's no positive outcome for any meetings with you and the local authority except the removal of your children. This is what they are there for. You are stock in trade for their trade. If the social worker and the local authority engage with you and don't remove your children, this is a complete negative. Their sole purpose is not to help you and your family. Their sole purpose is to remove your children. This is the only positive result that will come out of any engagement with you and the local authority. If you feel that a social worker is in some way threatening you and suggesting that if you don't engage with them, it's likely that your children will be taken into care, this is a criminal offence. Report them immediately to the police and instigate the complaints procedure with the local authority. Now, if you're in court already, if you're in the family court arena, and the opposite side, of course, is the local authority and the social worker, you can stop this today. You apply to the court for permission to engage an independent social worker. This will take the local authority social worker out of the arena. Now, there isn't any reasonable excuse that the judge can come up with why he wouldn't want you to do this. There isn't any sane reason why the judge could say, no, I'm not accepting this. So if you're in the court arena and the local authority and the social workers are, in your opinion, lying, being coercive, perjurious, many other reasons, simply apply to the court to engage your own independent social worker to conduct any reports that the court needs. Why have somebody in court with you that is your enemy when you can today bring that to an end? You won't be breaching any laws, you won't be breaching any civil or criminal laws, and it's your right, it's your human rights to request the court anything at all. So my recommendation is, if you're in the court arena already, petition the court and ask if you please can engage your own social worker. So you're already in court, and in the court with you will be the solicitor that you have engaged, who will say very little except explain to you procedure. My recommendation is sack this solicitor today and inform the court that you intend to represent yourself. This will give you the opportunity to say everything that your solicitor wouldn't say. Now, personally, I don't know why solicitors go into court and say nothing. Possibly because they're afraid of the local authority, and possibly because at some point they're engaged by the local authority, I don't know. But what I would suggest is that whenever you're in court, you speak for yourself and you cross-examine, and if you're still in court with the local authority social worker, cross-examine. And remember, the law dictates that the social worker engaged by the local authority has to take every measure to keep your family together. So the question that I'm suggesting that you put to a local authority social worker in court is this: social worker, please can you tell the court specific steps that you have taken to help our family remain together? Now, the likelihood is the social worker won't have done anything. She won't have anything to read out, she won't have any notes to fall back on regarding this. She will not be able to give a she or he, whoever it is, won't be able to give a reasonable explanation to the court of what steps they have taken to ensure that your family remain together. So that's the end of this programme. I'll be making other programmes regarding UK social services, in particular the corruption within UK social services and social workers. But for today, that's all.
Tune into Radio Rose Ellen.